in game 3, we make one more play?
No, I think it's
No?
I think it's the opposite.
Okay.
Because you have to understand. When fans look at it, sometimes they're like, "Oh, a team got second. That's not bad." But
No, players suck.
Yeah,
they're
players
like,
suck.
no, we sucked. We
This is
hated
why I
that.
wanted to ask you.
and
I thought you'd have a
it's
different
even more
answer.
depressing than that. It's like, sure, you can objectively look at the game and say like, "Well, they were kind of close." But if they end up losing the series because of that, no one's gonna be like,
Yep.
"Well, EG lost, but that game too, they were like we were this
I'm
close,
with Will.
guys."
I'm with Will. I
All right.
had enough in the early days of finishing second, but I tell you, there was a player, and I can't tell you who it was, but someone told me once, second is first of the losers, and that's good enough for me. That's stuck with me. We are going to get into the draft right now, our third and final draft in this particular game. Don't forget, we've also got our final series of the day as well coming up, Keen versus Liquid, so still plenty more Dota 2 on the way. Where are we going, gents? Is it time for something different?
I think for EG, maybe you don't go for both the Visage and the Ember, like those cores together.
Yeah.
They're almost like both complementary cores that don't ultra scale or anything like that. Like they've got this window of timing where they have to hit, and if they don't, then the game becomes a little bit rough for them.
I think it's just more that you pay a bit more attention to your damage distribution as the draft goes on. You make sure not necessarily right away, but you make sure as you scale toward the late game that you have the potential to have some sources of both physical and magical damage. That was one of the things that NewBee really exploited with their item builds as the game goes on. I mean, Undying didn't get his pipe to Undying was poor as hell. He didn't get his pipe to like 50 minutes, right? And still those kind of items. You know, the way Dota's evolved the last couple of years, support items as the game goes on like that make a big difference.
So for me, the question for EG is whether they take the Earth Spirit or the Jakiro first. I don't know if you do that. You can also take the Puck if you feel like you're blocking it from NewBee.
I'm down with the yes.
I think it's... If they take the Earth Spirit, then maybe they scare NewBee into... Okay, they take Jakiro.
So first of all, you leave the Earth Spirit on the table for NewBee now, and I don't think NewBee's really gonna first phase Jakiro. Okay, Bane, that's an EG hero too.
Still can do Bane.
They could do like Bane Puck.
Before. Yeah, Puck's a relatively flexible first phase core because you can move him around, right, Will?
Yeah, then you think that EG takes the Earth Spirit again. Because I don't think they were dissatisfied with how that went.
Nope. No, I do think, again, going back to game 1, I think your other issue for NewBee is that your other support needs to have some kind of wave clear. Right? Bane is just maybe one of the worst supports in the game when it comes to clearing creep waves.
So, NewBee, second pick, taking a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Probably debating between the two. Or they could just like go completely the other direction and take Monkey King again if they were super happy about that.
Yeah, I feel like committing to Monkey King this early is a risk because EG has shown 3 range core looks plenty of times.
I feel like it'll be the Puck.
Yeah, I like the Puck a lot. Yep.
So then EG, do they just go straight back for the Earth Spirit? Because I don't think that was a problem in that lineup whatsoever. I think it's still a pretty good 4 position that they can play.
Yes, for sure. I like the Earth Spirit here more than any other hero. The Veno is banned, and the Puck is their other big flex.
Oh, they take Lone Druid. So this is pretty interesting because EG, I haven't seen them lose with this hero.
Yeah, they're very, very good with it.
But everyone's been banning it second phase. And I think it's your last game elimination series. If this is the hero that you feel like you can't lose with, might as well go with it one more time.
Well, you showed it. EG showed it the other night. And the big thing about this hero is it is a hero that they can basically sack. They can leave on an island in a side lane. And that it will still scale really, really well. And the other thing is they do not do it often, but they will every so often run Sumail on Lone Druid mid. And just that slight mix-up potential can really play big in terms of strategic value as the draft goes on.
So they banned Dazzle. They might think that that is a off-lane hero.
Which it could be. Last 2 times they've run it, it has been an off-lane.
Yeah,
time before that it was a mid, and the time before that it was a 5.
Does NewBee then ban the Earth Spirit themselves.
10 seconds remaining.
I think they pick it.
They could.
I think they can still pick it.
EG's turn to
They actually
ban.
ban Ember, which is decent hero against Puck.
Yeah.
Kind of works both ways though.
Yep.
That Ember was really annoying though for EG to deal with.
10
Maybe
seconds
supports the idea
remaining.
too that this Puck, they want to leave it open for going mid as well.
5 seconds remaining. NewBee's turn
Okay.
to pick.
All right, so both teams don't want to
Some
see the
respect.
mids from
Yeah,
the last
some
game
respect.
again. Yeah, I
Good
can't
respect.
disagree.
I like that.
I think I'd be okay with Clockwork or Earth Spirit right now.
I really like the Earth Spirit. Kaka Clockwork is good as well. You could even go for a Kaka Sand King.
I just like Clockwork
10
against Lone Druid,
seconds
and I think it's
remaining.
annoying against Shakira too.
Sure.
Although people will eventually build Force Staffs.
5 seconds
You don't think the
remaining.
Shaker goes here?
I think Clockwork. I think you have to look at Kaka's last game on Earthshaker and scratch
Rope-
your head a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a really difficult game.
You need, I think you take something relatively open here still, since you already revealed one of your cores, and you're most likely waiting for EG to kind of show themselves in the lanes a little bit more before you take something or show something yourself.
I just feel like you have to make the call here about if you leave the Earth Spirit on the table, that's more than likely what EG picks up next.
Yeah.
EG's
Okay,
turn
so it is going to be the
The
Kaka Sand
Kaka
King.
Sand King, yeah.
You know, can't argue with that. You're going back to a staple. Tends to happen as these elimination series move on.
Yeah, so if you're EG, your options are you can make this Jakiro go off lane and take something like Rubik, which is by far one of the better ways to deal with Sand King.
10 seconds
You can
remaining.
take the Earth Spirit.
I can't see from here. Is the Wisp banned?
5 seconds
No.
remaining.
Wisp is not banned.
People don't seem to be as frightened of that anymore.
I think it depends on where EG's putting this Jakiro, because if they take Wisp, then they need
Yeah.
a forward
Yep.
position that has some sort of disable or initiation.
Wisp is a weird hero in that it's the hero that has the highest ratio of times banned to times picked. It's actually banned super frequently, but not picked that often. And it's just because situationally it's so good. So EG
They
going to
take
take
the
the
Shaker.
Earthshaker off the
Yep.
table themselves. Will which is going to be core? The Jakiro or the Shaker?
I think it depends on. You can wait one more pick.
And
EG
was going to save this for later, but why not now? Can this be a mid shaker?
Insta life.
It can be, but it would need a better matchup.
Insta life stealer on the other side.
It's one of the better
So-
ways to deal with Shaker and Jakiro.
It was so quick though. I felt like maybe they
10
knew
seconds
where
How do you
EG
feel
were
about-
going.
How do you feel about Lifesteal against Lone Druid?
It's
5
all right.
seconds remaining.
I mean, if you get a vehicle and you can just jump on top of the Lone Druid,
Yeah.
then you don't care about Savage Roar or anything. You just pop out Rage,
NewBee's
four shot
turn
him.
to ban.
So they get the Beastmaster to deal with that.
Whoa, so wait a minute. We're going to have something pretty unconventional here because this is going to be a dual support Earthshaker and Jakiro, which is not the most common combination. Or this is something like a core shaker with
Mm,
Universe
seconds
on the
remaining.
Beastmaster.
I think it's more likely a 4-position Shaker
5
Okay,
seconds
alright.
remaining.
because you're not, unless you're trying to do something really tricky. For the most part, you're gonna give Sumail a better option.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got to be a Universe
EG's
Beastmaster,
turn to
a Fear
ban.
Jakiro.
Other than that, it's all about the BKB piercing to save for the
So they
roar.
ban DP. They need a hero that can survive against the burst. If they do get hit up by the Lifestealer Puck combination, and it's still not absolutely certain whether or not that's
10
that's
seconds remaining.
looking more like offline Puck. But NewBee have the last
5
pick,
seconds
so they can
remaining.
flex it depending on how EG decides to round out their draft.
Probably not going to happen, but I want to see my SCCC Shadow Fiend here.
You need something on EG that isn't super greedy.
Yep.
Although you could take something like
Could be Lena.
for EG.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd want something that can spam out waves a little bit more though.
Oh, that's
Actually,
actually.
old school gyro.
Oh, I'm surprised you said that just because I That's part of why I like Lena for EG.
Yeah.
Because I think you want something. They can spam those nukes on the waves.
Yeah, but maybe
Okay,
they take
Mirana.
something like Mirana.
That
instead.
actually
bit more meta.
Well, it makes sense because as we talked about earlier with Mirana, she provides you with burst magic damage, but she can scale into physical damage as the game goes on, which makes her good against the lifestealer. And also, this is the thing. I like this EG draft a little bit here because you have two heroes in the Lone Druid and the Mirana that are both very difficult to gank. So where are you going to get your ganks off as NewBee with this? That's the strength of the Kaka roaming Sand King. Is he's very, very active around the map from level 1. But this is not an EG squad that's easy to rotate on.
So what do you take here if you're NewBee? You can make the puck still go mid. You can take something like Sniper or something super long range mobile that doesn't mind. They take TA.
Okay.
It's a while since I've seen that hero.
Yeah, don't see a huge amount of TA these days, do we?
I'm not sure about that.
Okay. What do you think about it? Will, give us your synopsis of the draft and your prediction for this final game.
I've yet to see EG lose a game with Lone Druid. If you're gonna first to it, I think NewBee was pretty unprepared for that. I'm gonna go with EG. Feel like they should have won the last game. Think they'll close it out here.
Okay, Alan.
I'm trying to work through the TA in my head. It's not a classic comfort hero for SCCC. They see something about that matchup that they really like. I just feel a bit more confident in EG with this lineup. This is awfully close. This is gonna be a game. I'm gonna go EG. I'm gonna go EG.
All right, good stuff, guys. We are ready. Hope you're all ready at home. Hope you're all ready here inside the arena because we are in for a battle royal. It is the final game between NewBee and Evil Geniuses.
I am ready. I'm sure Syndron is ready as well for our deciding matchup. Evil Geniuses versus NewBee. Who will come out on top? EG with the first early phasing Lone Druid pick up the lifestealer answer back. Syndron, we heard the analyst thoughts. I want to hear yours.
I think it's hard to say. I think they're underestimating TA a bit in this game. I feel like it's a pretty good TA game. You look at some enemy heroes, and a lot of the times you can fall into the trap of looking at how many counters do they have for refraction. That's like the classic way of thinking about how good TA is going to be. But I think in this patch, it's a lot more about how well can you contest the TA in lane overall, and how well can you contest TA from farming stacks. And when it comes to the stacks, I think the NewBee lineup is very good at defending them. A support duo like Earthshaker Jakiro is not the best at invading those stacks. And you have cores like Mirana and Lone Druid who also need a bit of time. So I think the TA will get off to a pretty good game. Realistically, Fear will probably sit mid in the start and be annoying, but they have Bane, and Bane can offset that disadvantage. So
yeah.
In addition to that, you know, Lifestealer is a classic counterpick to Lone Druid, but I don't think it's as Lifestealer favored as it used to be. You can go ranged Lone Druid, for example. I think he's way better against Lifestealer than the melee, the bear-focused one. I'm expecting that out of Arteezy this game. I think it's just flat out better to go ranged this game.
I'm loving the manners between the players. Nice Queen of Pain. SCTC, always a very thankful kind of person. Always happy to lay the smack down between them, even if sometimes it's inappropriate. NewBee, they're going to smoke up. They're going to have a bit of a wrap around, so they're heading down south, which will bring them into Lone Druid territory towards his bounty rune. The bear is currently doing its own scouting mission. They put down a nice observer ward early on. It's right on top of the Radiant's defensive observer ward, probably giving him a lot of confidence in this position. And now, well, you can try and kill off the bear early on, and try, will they succeed?
No,
it's a lot of damage, they'll move away, and okay, not going to happen. Not back to the tier 2 tower, but definitely gives Arteezy a little bit more of a warning bell early on.
And they're going to put the Lifestealer in this matchup. This is an easy lane for Lifestealer until Lone Druid is level 5. Until that point, you can just farm. When Lone is 5, you need to be a bit careful with getting entangled, especially if rotations can come in. Obviously, you still have some tools, but not the easiest thing ever. Faith is gonna... Oh, okay. Actually, this is a trial lane mid from EG.
Is he... Okay, Fissure, crit. Faith, what are you doing? He moves right past Evil Geniuses and gives away first blood in the middle lane. He was meant to help SCTC, not compound the lane.
He was not expecting the Shaker to be there on level 1. It was very obvious that he was not thinking about it on that move. Meanwhile, Arteezy being annoyed. with this Sanking. He's going to center with the pole camp.
Yeah,
so.
he body blocked the first time, and then he sentries the second one, but he waited until he was up the hill, so there was no way for Arteezy to know he threw that out.
To try to give you a conclusion of who I favor in this game, I don't really have any clear favorite. I think both lineups are very good and are good against each other in different ways. So this is the kind of game that we want for the third game overall. A lot is going to come down to whether this TA gets farmed. If TA gets countered a lot, if they do a really good job and invest resources and are successful, NewBee's lineup has quite a weakness there. But I have a hard time seeing it really being successful for EG to shut him down. So
yeah, we kind of have to watch just that camp stacked. A little bit of a statistic, because this is going to be the critical thing. So you can brain sap out on Sumail, but Faith's presence has been forced to stand here in the mid lane for the moment. But in 15 seconds time, you see him already moving towards the Ancients. He needs to start prepping this. And Kaka, he's having to pressure bottom lane a hell of a lot too. So stack-wise, it's pretty much on Faith to just get the early stacks done. But this will allow him to contest the 2-minute rune up on top if it's going to be there.
There's some play potential here.
He's going to only steal the bounty runes, however.
For now.
Yeah.
He will probably look at mid if they can get any angle if the Bane comes forward. No, it seems unlikely. Okay. Not going to try. It's running bottom.
It's a level 2 Bane with Nightmare too.
Oh, he has to help,
Arteezy.
probably.
Yeah, maybe he does. Kaka looking for that Burrow Strike. They're going to go into the trees. Mugi not really in a position where he wants to fight. Now this fast crit runs in. The fissure block is perfect. The Bear's coming in through the rear, but who's really trapped in here with who? Middle lane still
really
battling
awkward,
off. Like, hey, this could happen. No, it's not happening.
Oh, they're doing a very good job against this C. I didn't think it was going to be this Sumail favorite so far. Obviously, the Jakiro is a great hero against TA, but with right creep wave manipulation and the harass from Bane, I thought SC would have a slightly better time than he has.
He's going to have a better time now the bottle's coming on the courier, but at the same time, they can cancel the salve. He actually went boots.
Yeah,
and it's the extra salve.
TAs don't go bottle anymore, really. That's why I was really surprised if he went bottle. Most of the time you see boots Aquila, and then straight for the Deso, optional boots upgrade.
That actually hurts him even more now. The fact that salve got cancelled by the fissure of ES.
Yeah, that was really annoying. It's a pretty nice play from Crits.
Yep.
I think he only got healed about 150 by that flask, so now he has to send out a second one, like you said, and that's good economical damage.
Kaka looking to move in towards the mid. They'll prep with the Nightmare.
I don't think they want to go.
SCCC's not really there to go just yet. Jakira's TPing in. So at least they force the rotation of both Crit and Fear. Kaka hiding in the Sandstorm and will just walk away.
I really like the decision of Kaka to not go on that.
It had to be tempting.
Good
Faith,
situational
however,
awareness.
a little bit too close. Fissure into the arrow. It's a 3-second stun, and with a Starfall, the damage will be enough. Fear.
Great kill.
His dot effects will help kill off Faith, while on the bottom lane, Arteezy, Mugi, heavy damage. Arteezy, he's got a full wand, and it's allowing him to survive underneath that tower. And he'll have to burn the salve, still with a couple of tangos up his sleeve, however.
He's having a really hard time.
12-2 versus 21-8. But that level 5 is approaching.
It is. It's going to help for sure.
SCCC.
They're still trialing him. They're targeting him so hard.
Yeah. You're waiting for that fissure just to kick in and then follow into the arrow. But with the Dark Creep Wave, it's difficult for Sumail to have the perfect line. Potentially, too, Faith is able to save with the Nightmare and interfere with EG's attack. And it seems them working better on the other lanes. So you talk about, like, okay, Arteezy, he's not having a great time for CS. He's at least getting levels. But your Beastmaster on the off lane, he's hit level 5. He's harassing KP down. It's 25-5 versus 20-5. Is this commitment from EG really worth it? Knowing that you're still going to have to deal with the stacks later on.
That's a really hard question to answer, especially because they don't know exactly how well they're doing. If they could see the numbers, they might change their approach a little bit, because he still has 20 CS. It's not that bad.
Yep.
But that Observer Ward that they placed down to block that camp is going to be important. It looks like Faith didn't realize it was blocked, so this is going to block effectively 2 attempts, because now Faith is going to walk up there and try again, and be like, oh, damn, it was blocked last time.
Unless he has confidence with his own pull. Like, the pull was very clean. He just went down the hill.
He will 100% know there's a ward if he goes up there and checks now. But he's not going to go there again until minute 6. And at that point, he will realize it was blocked before.
And he only had an Observer Ward brought out to him, so that's not going to help it.
No, we'll see. He's going to realize now.
Up he comes. Wait, hang on. That's only 2 sets.
Oh, seems like it stunned him a bit.
Ah.
Hello.
Ah.
Hey. Oh, there we go. He was trying to find the sentry in the shop. It can be hard sometimes. If you don't play support every day, then it's hard to find the sentry ward. It's not that common.
Search feature. SCCC being
Throw it in Sentry One. If you do that as a support, that's pretty bad.
professional player at
Oh,
4K.
Fissure arrow.
Nightmare actually trying to get him out this one at the moment. It's just keeping Fear locked in. Faith can't really cut through the tree lines, but TP support's coming in. It's a live stealer here with Kaka, so Samel can get the kill over on Faith, but Fear's in deep. Samel has leap to get away, and Fear, well, he will be brought down. The kill goes away at the TA. Open wounds instead. The leap already been committed, and a great Fissure block from Crit, cancelling the chase from NewBee. And Mugi really only getting 1 kill for this rotation.
Exactly. That's EG should be happy with that. They forced a Lifestealer TP. It frees up Arteezy. Sand King also came in, so that was a 4-on-3, and they got a trade. They traded Jakiro for Bane. More than good enough. Arteezy really needs this time. He has been losing this lane pretty hard, and this is going to bring it back to even.
Yep.
This is like 2 full creep wave and tower damage. He even left with the siege creep wave coming in. That is not good.
Arteezy, though, was still a little bit cautious about things, so he backs off the tower.
I'm surprised he didn't commit a bit more there. Like, he can be scared of the rotations, but he can at least let his bear hit and stand back with his hero and get some extra damage in, but he values the farm a bit higher this time instead of getting extra damage on that T1.
SCCC's trying to stack this now, so it looks like it wasn't flagged.
That
the realization
is-
was not there.
That is really not good.
They've
This
actually
ops
wasted-
has had super value.
They've wasted 3 pulls now.
Yeah.
Obviously, one of the pulls was because of a team fight. The other 2 were because of the Observer Ward. Crit moves
Oh,
up
Crit
towards the
Nimbus
top,
rune.
so nice thing to initiate with when you got Raw, but there is the Lifestealer inside the consumed up troll, and he's looking for a target.
Who's ganking who, Toby?
I am
Oh,
really...
the troll is ganking the boar!
Oh, of course, it's so obvious.
And now it killed the hawk. Nice.
Critical damage.
Got a kill.
Worth.
Nice on Mugi. So they actually ended up lane swapping here.
Yeah, they-
And now Lifestealer will be playing as
But then again, SK's in a little bit of trouble. Down on bottom lane, rooted up. The Fissure kind of blocked him in. Sandstorm not available. KP Dream Call also
gonna
doesn't
kill the
create
bear.
enough space. And, well, yep, you do get that.
That's an
Trigger
even trade.
on crit. KP, do you keep this chase going? Supports nearby in the form of Fear is sitting on the bottom root at the moment. He won't pick one up. In fact, he's now going to rotate towards the mid lane, which is where the Nightmare is not setting up anything. There's no creep wave.
good
The arrow
arrow.
flies forward.
Great
it
arrow.
connects. Fear is there. There is no protection. Faith, what can you do? Your Nightmare's already gone.
That is like...
EG get the kill.
That is about the worst place you can be in the mid lane with TA at that exact point, because every single movement trajectory runs you into the arrow.
They're gonna
You
get
couldn't
more.
escape it, I think.
Fissure in towards mid, the Nightmare, at least locking up Samael for the moment. TP's coming in from the TA, but the arrow will connect. 3 seconds on the stun, the Starfall will find the damage, and SCCC finds himself again alone in this mid, and maybe even more alone than he thought. Beastmaster Universe is looking to wrap around the back, but SCCC makes the right choice. They move away from the lane. He goes to farm up inside the jungle, and will fight around his own tier 2 tower.
And Universe is going to rotate top now, and if they can get this tower, so having Jakiro and Beastmaster together gives your lineup a lot of pushing power, and they even have the Lone Druid Bear to go with it. Mugi is just dead.
Yep, there is. Oh, he has Infest. If he can not be stunned for 5 million years. But unfortunately, that was 5 million years. Give or take a few minutes.
Yeah. Years. Right.
Decades.
That's a top tower gone. I don't think NewBee can defend this in any possible way. They can look to take a trade somewhere, like pushing out bottom themselves. Can I just say that Samael has been on fire today, by the way. I think he's playing really, really well in every game. And this game as well, he's been stepping up. He's gonna maybe get another kill here.
Oh,
Most
Faith.
definitely.
They're switching the Nightmare around. And man, okay, well, Kaka. Nightmare took a little bit longer thanks to the Observer. They see exactly where they are. Crit, the Pyro strikes down. Yeah, he's dead. Samael can't help out with this one, no matter how much on fire he is.
It's giving you flashbacks to back in the time when you couldn't really deny that Samael was just the best player in the world for at least a few months. He was just flat out just destroying in the mid lane. And it's a bit of flashbacks to that old Samael I'm getting right now. All 3 games he's been very, very good. And whether his matchup in lane has been good or bad, he's been making the most of it. In this game, he's getting a really serious lead on his Mirana. He's been playing great in that mid lane, hitting every single arrow so far, I believe.
You got to give props as well to the supports of EG
Absolutely,
moving
I'm not
around.
taking anything away from them.
Yeah,
they're doing a great job to set him up. Of course, he couldn't do that alone.
Of course.
It's just, for me, this is the biggest contrast because I think the supports from EG have been, like, relative to their peak level on that role, they've been more consistent. And I think Samael had dropped off a bit lately, and now he's really finding form again. So it's very, at least to me, I can really tell the difference in the game flow so far.
That's scary, not only for the end of this major, like the winner of this tournament plays up against Virtus Pro, who are looking in good form, and if Sumail is looking good, then we'll actually have probably the greatest Dota ever, watching like no one versus Sumail.
That's a
like,
great lane matchup. This
would love to see that, but at the moment, they've still got a long way to go. We're only 11 minutes in with a 3K advantage going the way of EG, but all 3 cores from EG are up on top, and they're going to try and use that advantage to force something better. And Kaka is the man they force. The arrow flies forward. Savage Roar will send him out of both the line of the arrow and his Sandstorm underneath. The Shrine is not exactly where EG wants to fight, but the Shrine is burned. It repairs the damage onto Kaka and Faith, and now it's up to NewBee, trying to find that opening. Crit running down the river, and he's the easier one to kill off. The arrow, it's only going to be a short stun time, but Crit can turn around. Echo Slam's available, but no point to burn it. He is heavily outnumbered, and Kaka actually managed to reach Fear. We shouldn't have given them praise, because now EG are going to lose both of the supports. And NewBee can keep that pressure going towards the tier 1 tower on bot lane.
Easiest caster curse of my life.
Radiant's bottom
It's not that big of a disaster though. Let's be real here. They've taken 3 towers. They end up losing 2 supports in this play, which is by no means great. Forced multiple rotations. The bigger casualty is this bottom tier 1 that they basically set up for NewBee like this. If they didn't make this aggressive move into a dangerous territory, they wouldn't have. Actually, they're not losing the tower. Good arrow from Sumail. Is that a double? That's not enough. Good sticks from Kaka.
It's close.
Clutch.
And Sumail, he's fine expending this mana. He managed to grab that regeneration room, which is what Kaka was trying to deny. But I think the bigger thing for NewBee in that bottom fight is the fact they're able to bring the gold and experience a lot closer. In fact, they now hold the lead in the experience graph. But KP's getting close to his initiating items too. Having that Blink Dagger is the enabler for the Lifestealer, so we can start seeing that combination actually used. Because currently the delivery system has not been there for the Lifestealer.
There's some very good Lifesteal bombs this game. The Puck is good, the TA is good, the Sand King is good. So they have plenty of ways of doing it. Oh no, Universe is going to block the camp with the Hawk. Being really annoying. This is actually a classic thing that most people probably forgot about. This used to be a thing you would do against these stacking heroes like Sven and TA. You would put Hawks, just be
he actually took the aggro on the Hawk, and the Black Dragon turned around to block the camp.
Yep. Can always just mess with it.
Universe, under the cover of Moonlight Shadow. The other good thing about this 5th pick of Evil Geniuses, they have initiation without forcing themselves to buy Blink Daggers, and that's where Moonlight Shadow comes in real handy. And you can see NewBee, they don't want a bar of this. They don't have the vision to really battle this out. They have the Observe Ward on the other side, but it doesn't give you that close vision just yet. The tower's dropping low. Okay, maybe they do want to fight. They're going to smoke. Here's your Infest. KP with the Blink Dagger gets a 2-man coil. It's a 3-man silence and the Burrow Strike follow-up. They bring down Sumail. The follow-up needs to be there, and it's Arteezy. The Bear, as well as himself, wants to run away from this. The Macropire from Fear tries to cut the fight, and it does do exactly that. Mugi will run through the fire and the flames to carry on, killing off that Jakiro. He is really the power of the fire. No dragon stuff in this one. SEC wants to keep pushing harder. Kaka right behind him. Another trap to slow down would be really nice at the moment. Let it prep, and then Universe slowed for a bit. Kaka, SECC actually backs off to then blink forward, so then they can get the Burrow Strike following, and Evil Geniuses trying to force the tier 2 tower field. A couple of kills, but it's not over yet. Sumail jumps in, or does he? KP, quick on that Blink Dagger. It was the first reveal, and it paid off wonderfully for NewBee.
I want to point out how Kaka played that. That was actually really funny to watch at the tower. He kept stutter stepping back and forth. So I think EG were like, what's he doing? What's he doing? And they weren't really sure what was going on. And then the blink from Puck comes in. So he's just like trying to be distracting and get them out of a focused mindset. And the moment that blink comes in, EG obviously didn't know it was there. Then they wouldn't have clumped up like they did. And that blink reveal was super huge for that fight, as you said. They get the first kill on Sumail. I am not sure who got the kill. Was it Lifestealer that got the gold bounty? It was. Lifestealer got 2 kills there. He got the Mirana and the Jakiro kill, and therefore he's almost first on net worth now.
And even TA was able to grab Universe, so all of the cores doing some work. Yeah. Kaka, oh, what a wonderful rune to have. Arteezy, like back-to-back deaths is not what he wants to have happen. That's exactly what is going to happen. KP with a jump in. They even burn the Dream Coil. NewBee don't want to leave anything to chance. Arteezy's trying to wait it out, but you can't wait out that much. KP will find the kill. Arrow fishing in mid would have potentially given EG a rebuttal, but not going to happen. Good movement from NewBee. Really trying to be aggressive on this map.
I feel like this is the spot on the map that Arteezy gets caught out on the most, alone. Is this exact camp that he was just farming, whether his tower is up or not, this seems to be a bit of a death trap for him to play in that area. And there's no hero in their lineup that can really just go there and farm it, but I think if you want to push out that wave, it should just be a support that you risk the life of, and Arteezy needs to play more in the safe side of the map that EG have covered. The whole triangle on the left side, the ancient camp and the big camp that they have for their own, has been unfarmed, I think, the last 2 minutes, so he could probably just farm that. And now we actually see him go there. Now that he's spawned, he's like, I don't like this bottom lane. Now he's farming Ancients. But it's a shame for him that he had to die first. That was a very dangerous place on the map that he was playing completely alone, and NewBee took full advantage of it. They're also lucky they had the Sanking Rune, you know, but they were still smoked on 2 heroes. If Sanking was in that smoke, I think it's the same outcome.
And that double damage being put to good use for the Templar Assassin. She was able to farm up a couple of stacks. I thought for a moment when the DD rune appeared that she could go in for Roshan, but with the amount of vision that EG have, that's a dangerous kind of...
Definitely hard.
Yeah, definitely a hard avenue to go down.
The way you get Roche this game as NewBee is that you make a smoke play and you catch any core, and then you capitalize by getting Roche after. But just flat out going in there is suicide. There's Fissure that can block you off in the pit. You can macropire the pit, and then TA has to run out. Hawk, Arrow...
They're just really good at doing it, though. Like, that's always been the power of having a Templar Assassin in your lineup.
Absolutely. They can kill the Roche pretty fast, but EG needs to have a major blunder to just let them get it for free. It's unlikely to happen.
Arteezy still trying to play catch-up.
But let's recap on what happened. So early on, they pressured this TA really hard. They did their best to shut her down. Now she's top net worth minute 17, closing in on Deso. So he did go for the blink first, which is fairly unusual this patch. Most players prefer to go for the fast Deso, but it's a good way to facilitate a comeback if you're having a hard time to start, because you can get like 1 or 2 kills, and then all of a sudden you're closing in on that Deso. So he's 5-1 now on TA after being trialing mid.
It's going to make
with that.
It's going to make NewBee being so maneuverable, because you can have 3 blink daggers. The SK is pretty close to his. In fact, he now has his. And Evil Geniuses have the 1, but it's a big one. It's the Blink Echo Slam that Crit can bring to the fight.
Yep, he has 4 points in Aftershock, so he's guaranteed to be able to chain all of his abilities. I do believe it's always enough to have 3, so he could go 3-1-3 build as well. Like 3 points in Aftershock is always enough to chain completely, but valuing the extra damage over the short, slightly longer duration on the Fissure stun itself. The backline heroes is what he's done this time. You also farm faster with the extra Aftershock point, so might have given him the blink now.
EG are crossing the river, or at least they're hovering around Roshan, using Universe's Beast to scout out. Crit and Fear won't find their opportunity. Instead, the bottom lane's being pressured. This is why NewBee's being a little bit more defensive. KP being very, very slippery in this bottom lane. A difficult hero to kill unless EG want to commit multiple players to that bottom lane, so he just keeps nuking the creep wave, backing out, waiting for EG to respond, and maybe this is the other way to do it. You bring 1 or 2 players down from EG to gank him, and then you can take Roshan. The Fissure comes down, it doesn't block Faith in.
This is good information as well for NewBee. They would have seen the Blink Dagger there if they clicked him. If they know that, that's a big piece of information that is no longer hidden from them. Speaking of hidden, they are currently not under Division. Actually, there's 1 hero on Division. Lifestealer is currently farming a camp under Ward. So EG also have their own information to make a decision based on.
Yeah, it's the wait. If NewBee want to go into the pit, they'll be happy to oblige in the for a fight. In the meantime, it's move out, keep the farm coming into these core heroes and support heroes. They need everything they can get. Arteezy trying to build into that Dragon Lance.
Yeah. It's good to see him go the range build in this game. I feel like it's more or less a requirement. Now the Deso is complete for SC. Possible timing for the smoke is coming up now for NewBee. If they group up, they have all of their spells. They have 3 different heroes that they can infest now. 3 blink daggers, like you said.
Smoke.
But it is EG looking to make the move.
The T1 tower is taking damage in the mid, and at least Arteezy is there to defend it. But they're going to ramp all the way around and into the Dire jungle. If they take that rune, they're actually going to reveal their presence to the Observer Ward of the Dire side.
Do they have
I'm
one?
not certain if NewBee actually scouted that themselves.
That ward can't see the rune, could it? I don't think that's...
It's a pretty high cut, so yeah, maybe he doesn't actually see it. But at the moment, though, it looks like NewBee is still a little bit iffy about it.
That's smoke, and their secondary pseudo-smoke used, the Moonlight, and they still haven't found an engage. And now they're probably going to show on this ward, I think. Yep, they're going to show on this ward. KP is going to orb in. So this is both of the initiation tools from EG down the drain.
Kaka playing around with bears, but that's a dangerous pastime.
This is such an important moment right now.
Crit feels like bait. KP
Best
jumps
play.
in. He's going to get that dream call off. They want that quick pick off over on the Beastmaster. The sun's going to last long enough to
got the
roar.
roar off.
It gets out in time, but Universe will still die. The burrow strike in from Kaka, following up into the epicenter. The damage is huge into both Fear and Sumail. Sumail forced to run out of this one, and the Fiend's Grip is locking down Arteezy. He can't be involved in this. Faith, he wants to have some help, and he's got it. The Nightmare board time, but no! The distance, Arteezy's so low! They want him! They need him! They've got him! Trying to dodge won't happen. SCCC, double kill for him. EG lose 4. And NewBee's momentum looking better and better and better.
The key thing for this fight is that NewBee have the high ground and that they jump in. Their initiation is way safer because they can blink in the puck and just coil a core, infest out, and silence that exact core, which is what they did in the Beastmaster. In the meantime, like you pointed out, great epicenter. Crit almost got a kill with the Echo Slam combo, I think, on the TA, but they didn't manage to bring down the hero fully. And then they've just blown everything they have, and they only got a Bane to show for it. Now they're going to lose the Roche as expected, most likely.
Yeah, you've got Beastmaster close by.
Fairly slow, actually.
They're missing a little bit of extra help, so Macropire, Fissure, and Ice Path. It's locking in Kaka. He can't get out of the pit. He'll be forced to burrow strike away. Meanwhile, SCCC jumping forward. He won't find his target. Quickly blinked out. Nightmare arrow, don't catch! Oh boy, SCC's in trouble. Sumail's coming over, but KP and Mugi team up to kill off Fear, but you've lost your Templar Assassin here, NewBee. This is the chance for Evil Geniuses. The Roar, it's nice, it's locked down, the Life Stealer. Mugi, he's starting to regenerate. The Humlet toggle his way through. He can't toggle that, however. Arteezy will find that tick, and they're looking for more. The arrows fly forward, and Invisruna Shaker is actually that Moonlight Shadow. NewBee can't kill what they can't see. And Arteezy has the double kill. NewBee lose 4. And Roshan is now open for Evil Geniuses if they believe they have the time on the already 50% HP Roshan.
Puck can try to mess with them as much as possible. That was a great fight from EG. They took advantage of the information that they had. They got that great Ice Path from Fear into Macropire, set up an arrow, and that just started off a great fight. Universe again with a good roar onto Lifestealer.
Roshan so low. KP, how confident do you feel? You got Blink and Yules, but he ain't gonna do it. Roshan taken by Evil Geniuses. Sumail has the Aegis Immortal, and KP will dodge Crit's attempt.
Arrow.
KP.
Don't slip up. Oh.
It's fine. Relax.
So what you've got to wonder in a moment like that is whether it's been a while since NewBee have played this TA, because they seem to have very unrealistic expectations of how quickly they could kill Roche. Like, they committed for quite a while and they got it down to like 2/3 when all of EG were spawned again. It's like, you know, probably shouldn't even have tried for it in the first place. They don't have, I believe they don't have any Medallion or Solar Crest in addition to the Templar Assassin, so all they have is Meld. Yep, and some hits from Lifestealer. It really, just didn't go fast enough.
They overestimated the amount of damage they had. Now they have to look for another fight, as that's exactly what EG are doing. Crit jumps forward, but now Fiend's Grip. They want that ES deck quickly. KP's going to Dream Call, and the Savage Roar. Well, the Bear forces to run away, and Crit can just wait it out in the Dream Call. SK's already gone. And NewBee, 2 ultimates committed, and they're the ones that lose a hero.
This game is swinging up and down. Wow, NewBee had a 10k XP lead? Oh, not anymore.
Yeah, they had 3,000 in net worth and 10k in experience. And yeah, goodbye Fear.
This is a very difficult hero to play support against in general. Most supports that can't afford a very fast Ghost Scepter or fast mobility like Force Staff will just get torn apart by like 3 attacks from Templar Assassin. Even Jakiro, who's a relatively tanky support, has no play whatsoever against the jumping in TA. You can't hit Ice Path on that hero in melee range. It's just not possible. So Fear will die. So we end up losing a support on either side.
We do.
But Fear still had the right intentions. I believe he was just pushing out the bottom creep wave, and that's the right idea. If they want to send someone down there and push that a bit, it's got to be the Jakiro. It's the best hero of choice. They have to do that. So Fear's doing the right thing, but did get caught out that time.
Yeah, you killed him.
Got it. Deny mid
it's
from
fine. You only committed 170 mana for it.
Oh, BKB already.
Yeah.
This TA is very strong.
Blink, BKB, and Desolator, and going to go for Butterfly as the next item.
This makes Universe's game a lot harder because now he has to pick who he wants to roar. Because now there's two big threats that have magic immunity. It's the 10-second BKB and the Rage. And beforehand it was very easy because he just had to roar Lifesteal every fight. Now he has to choose who's the bigger threat. It's very clear that the TA deals more damage, but based on the situation, it might still be better to roar the Lifestealer. And he just, most importantly, has to roar one of them. That's more or less required.
Well, maybe that's then the question. Who is easier to kite in the team fights? Who can you keep out of the fights at least?
Yeah.
You've got your boars, you can slow down the TA movement.
She can still blink with Refraction though, so I think it's probably still better to roar the TA and try to kill her off, and then you kite the Lifestealer with boars and with the Entangle from the bear, if that one is not hitting TA. Go like that.
That's easy. She has his own BKB now.
Good timing. Yep. He got a BKB as well.
Yep.
This makes him a lot harder to kill as well. Of course, he can get away from Lifestealer very easy now with his range build. Already playing from a high distance. And this keeps him safe from TA Blink Burst as well. Now that both the BKBs can't keep him in place either.
KP's keeping that bottom lane pushed out, but he's got a surprise inside of him. It's the Lifestealer. TP's coming in towards the shrine. It's Kaka arriving, not in vision of the Radiant at the moment. And no aggressive Observer Wards planted down by Evil Geniuses, so they're not really committing to this unless KP was going to come out too far. Instead, it's NewBee who's grouping up around their own Ancients. Potentially just protecting, but we also wait for the next smoke gank. Want to see that Infest Bomb being used aggressively against Evil Geniuses. And it actually is EG, the first ones to pick up the bad habit of smoking. Good in Dota, bad in life. SCCC.
Oh, this is a big pick if they can echo.
Oh, blink
He
away.
didn't go for it. He might have been scared of the counter engage from the Sand King from mid. Or that, you know, if you blink solo echo a TA that does have refraction up, maybe it's a bit too hard of a kill. If there's anybody behind him, he'll get counterplayed. So actually, it's understandable he didn't go for that. The risk was too high. They didn't have any vision behind.
Yep, and they burnt Moonlight Shadow as well, trying to get closer after that to initiate on the SK. Doesn't happen. And now NewBee. It's very obvious where EG is setting up. The Hawks giving good vision for EG in the back line, so NewBee there's only one way they can come from, and that's the east. But on the bottom lane, the pressure was still being applied. Keep in mind that KP is not in this fight, and he needs to be there. They need to have his Dream Coil in order to take the fight against Evil Geniuses.
He didn't have a good place to TP to except his own tier 3. He feels unsafe porting on the Shrine because it's more than likely warded or there's a Hawk there. And he doesn't want to TP on the tier 2 either. And there was also the Aegis on the Radiant. So, you know, EG are going to use their Aegis to get a tier 2. It's not probably not the greatest.
It was a trade-off. Puck actually got the tier 2 tower on bottom lane. Yeah. So a tier 2 for a tier 2 when you waited out the fight for the Aegis.
Yep. It's a good play from KP. I think it was the right choice.
A little bit of trouble, however. It's going to be Crit initiating in on Kaka. You know, just rotating down to pick up the bounty rune, but this is now an early warning sign as well for the Puck to bail.
He pinged out the ward that EG have there. Figured out that it must be this one that saw him. Sentry and Obs. Okay, they even see it.
That'll work.
That would explain it.
More money for KP.
Knows for sure.
We can put it down to game sense, man. He's a really good player.
Oh, based on the situation, he definitely could have guessed it as well.
So Templar Assassin already has evasion. Now up and running, went for the Talisman to start with. Money's looking fantastic for him. Samel and RTT both went for the Maelstrom, so a lot of magical mix damage coming in with the heavy physical they've got. And they're searching for NewBee farming in the jungle. But
it's actually funny to look at their items. They have like the same items on the Mirana.
Oh, they got the target. Fear. Well, he pops out for half a second. Oh boy! Oh boy!
Whoops.
He was underneath the sentry ward. And SCCC was very happy to 3-hit him down.
Cost him BKB charge though.
That is true. I think he's more worried about the follow-up from EG because
he was
in a very odd position compared to the rest of Evil Geniuses. And now the Eul Scepter is there. Easier to set up next time.
Right, it's a very good item on Jakiro in general. Jakiro, one of the biggest weaknesses of the hero is it's just slow. Like, its cast point is awful on all of its spells. So having the Ice Path to guarantee that, or the Euls to guarantee you connect your Ice Path is really big. The problem is it's against a BKB hero and a Rage hero and a hero with Phase Shift. So it's not the greatest, but I still think it's the best item he could buy this game. That or Force Staff.
Keeps the kite going.
Yeah.
So at least you can Euls them up, you can switch your targets.
Yep, maybe or he can use himself and buy time against TA's BKB, but if that's what you want to use it for, you should probably go on Force Staff.
Universe,
They
Fate,
broke.
the smoke's gonna break now.
They didn't realize it actually
It could have been the
expired.
timing.
It expired so close to it that they thought it just expired. But Mugi was smoked for like another second in the Bane, but I don't think they noticed.
NewBee is still happy to keep the status quo for the moment. SDCC's got a really good farm on him. Livestealer rapidly approaching that Assault Cuirass. And you get the Lincoln Spear over on Puck. So you're talking about targets to Raw. That's going to be a lot harder to do in the near future.
He wanted to Fisher into Arrow, but the angle from Sumail was a little bit too far to the right. So he hit a creep.
Radiant's bottom tower
Could have got interesting. Actually, nobody showing bottom from EG. They're taking structural damage in this bottom lane. The Puck has pushed in. This is Siege Creep hitting. That's a good, like, 400 damage into this tier 3.
And it's giving NewBee pause for concern.
It's,
So they back up, farm up the jungle where they got all their traps, watching everything.
it's a start. It might not sound that great to deal a little bit of chip damage to this tier 3, but remember, if that happens again or another time with Puck down there next time, if he can just get the tier 3, that is ultimately going to more than likely secure them a Roche, because if they can take this top shrine, EG will have a much harder time accessing that pit, so they got to be careful with how much damage they give away.
Speaking of Roshan, he just respawned. Both teams know there's a TA trap and a boar inside the pit, so Radiant and Dire very well aware of what's inside Roshan, or inside the pit.
Radiant's top tower
Or what we should say is the flattened area inside of a river with some walls around it.
The Roshan
in no way,
cave.
shape, or pit.
It's a cave.
If it's a cave, it's got a roof.
It does have a roof, but if it had a roof, you couldn't see into it.
It's a cul-de-sac. It is a cul-de-sac.
Could you imagine playing in the Roshan cave if you actually couldn't see it from above, like it just had a top on it? Like, how do you fight in there?
I don't know.
How do you
Maybe
fight?
that's the new challenge.
It's a cave, Toby.
Patch coming
Just
on the
admit
first
it's
next
a cave
month.
and let's move on.
SCCC
Here we go.
wants to attack RTZ. Oh! The Burrow Strike goes the
Oh,
wrong
no,
way.
we got
And
an
RTZ
R2.
got the BKB off.
Oh, that's gonna
Parker
hurt.
gets shredded apart. The BKB, however, is down for RTZ. Samel wants to make the most out of this. Faith being attacked by Samel, who leads himself forward. The fissure. It's nice. It doesn't stop SCCC.
Oh, he's stuck.
And Samel is locked in by Crit's own fissure. They jump in deeper with KP's Dream Coil. EG are forced to stand their ground, but with the Raw, maybe they can do it. 3 heroes down, and now it's up to the Livestealer, who's trying to run away. Toggle inside the flames. I think not, sir. KP, the sole survivor, jumps back in to end the streak of Bartizi. At least by killing him off, it makes it difficult for EG to go in for Roshan and buys time. Crit, Echo Slam, not even used. Ice Path will hold him there. KP, do you get out this one? Nope. Down he will go. Now is KP's streak to be ended by Crit. And both teams will look at Roshan and realize, yep, no one's getting this yet.
That was such a crazy fight. First, Kaka misses the stun and just gets killed off. Then they fight 4 on 5. Sumail leaps in aggressively, gets stuck behind his own fissure so they can kill him with the TA. And then you saw right there in that fight how much the Roar can do to TA. That actually just ruined him in RTZ. We just got it highlighted there. Did more than 4,000 damage to that fight.
Get to watch it again. So there's
this
the
is the
Dream
end of
Call.
the fight. Here comes the Roar. If he doesn't get the Roar off right now, RTZ would be dead. And then they wouldn't even kill the TA. This is like super clutch from Universe. We're talking half a second would be one more TA attack, and Arteezy wouldn't be living through this.
Yep.
But he does survive until the end here, and it turns out to be a great fight for EG. Now, looking forward into the next fight, that kind of fight is very different if there's a Sand King. So NewBee have to be very careful with not getting these just flat out bad engages. I guess he did force Arteezy's BKB when he jumped in.
Yeah.
He missed the stun, Arteezy BKB'd, so that's something. But it's not a valid trade-off, losing your Sand King for a BKB charge. Who bought back, by the way, in that?
Sentry on Sentry, it was the Shaker.
Shaker, right.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was a pretty even fight overall, actually, when you look at it.
Yeah. Like,
was-
even with a kill streak, the end, he got 600, 700 gold for ending KP streak, and that only just gave him a positive.
Yeah, because of the
income out
buyback
of it.
penalty. Yep.
Yeah, so it hurts like hell.
And
But
it was like a, what was it? It was a 3 for 5, but EG bought back a hero. So it's like 4 for 5 almost.
yeah,
And one of the kills, like you said, was reduced in gold. So yeah, that makes sense that it's a pretty even outcome. And both teams expended BKB charges. Of course, that's going a bit against EG because they have 2 of them that they used against the 1 of NewBee. You can tell I really want that fight to have a winner, but I don't think I have one.
it
That's
doesn't.
pretty much dead even.
You can keep clawing and get the numbers, and you won't get one.
Yeah.
EG
Okay,
now trying to take control of the pit. They've got a Gem of True Sight over on Universe. So they're getting a lot of information. Fear, however, well,
oh, nice
inform
Yules.
on this. The defensive Yules center puts him up and towards the air. The dust is still down. So
Oh, they missed the arrow on the roar. Oh, that is not good.
Well, the battle's going to keep continuing. Samel jumps in. They're going to push Faith a long way up to the side. The neutrals are attacking him. No denial on that front. Samel has enough damage. Has burned his BKB Arteezy. Now Burrow Strike Mugi. Thinking about running in. Now he's going to rage. He looked to hit onto the bear to start with. Now turns his attention towards Arteezy. And SCC, they're focusing on the bear. They're getting rid of the root. They're focusing now on the lone draw, but the Savage Roar sends him away. And the Burrow Strike from Kaka! Just in the nick of time, catching Arteezy. And you can see instantly NewBee ping Roshan. They want the big man. They want the Aegis. And they'll get the cheese as well.
I thought EG were going to get the hell out of there when they missed the arrow on that roar. It means they've basically wasted their roar, and then NewBee's cores can just come charging in and win that fight easily. And then Arteezy actually just ran in and wanted to fight that, and he got punished instantly. They were just on him, forced his BKB, and the moment it's over, they get the Sanking Stun and get the kill into a Roche. It's these little things. Like first, the Sanking dying beforehand gave EG a pretty good foundation for a fight. This time, the arrow missing on roar it's enough. It's enough to build a significant advantage in the fight for NewBee to be confident. Just jump in and kill them off. And this time they even killed the Jakiro before the fight began. So EG chose a 4 and 5 where they missed an arrow. That's just a no-go.
Man, this whole day of Dota feels like Swingers Dota, where it's just like no one holds the advantage they've got. At least there's no 20k swings in this matchup, but still 6,000 net worth going the way of NewBee. It's a nice thing to have. That graph isn't even updated yet. It's actually closer to 8,000 in favor of them, and a lot of this is in the hands of SCCC. He's got that Blink Dagger, he's got the Butterfly, Deso, BKB, and already looking into his next item as well.
And they're putting Lincolns on him. That's a really important thing to keep in mind. They keep putting the Lincolns from the puck on the TA so she can't get roared in BKB. And you look at this EG line and you're like, who's going to stop the TA?
Yep.
There's actually no control, so they have to run. They have to run from her. She's going to 3-shot.
You would say it's the bear, but then you see NewBee just how quickly they dispose of it.
It's a ranged lone druid build, so the bear has very low attack speed. It's unlikely to get a root. If he's lucky, it gets a root. But the bear now has to get a root through Butterfly without any attack speed items.
Yeah, good luck.
You know, if that's your win condition in the fight, don't play the fight like that. Look at this bear, 350 move speed.
Well, TJ's trying to get around it by building an MKB.
Yeah, he's got to. It's the best item here.
Yep. But he also kind of needs the distance.
He could consider a pike, but
yeah, do you finish it?
The problem is he can't use it on the BKB TA, and she's jumping on him every fight. He can't use it on the Rage Lifestealer either. So it doesn't have that high value.
To get away from.
Exactly. So it's a bit questionable. It's gonna get better the longer the game goes because he can pike away from the lower BKB duration. But right now, it hasn't seemed that useful. We actually have a pike. Was that on the Mirana? I think Mirana had a pike, which is a bit surprising to me. I don't know if that is valuable enough.
It's a full Hurricane Pike on Samel with Maelstrom and BKB. KP looking for an opportunity. They're not going to find it. The Hawk of Universe just sees way too much. And that top lane still pressuring in. Samel hasn't come back to this fight, so while the tier 2 tower is trying to be attacked, Savage Roar is just delaying it, so Samel can now attack into the tier 3 tower. Now, he's already done an extra 300 damage to this tower without really committing it heavily and without NewBee coming back. But NewBee want the fight.
Yeah, he's respecting them there. He sees that they back off, so he knows that there could be an Infest TP coming in.
They're coming back once more.
But now that Samel is back, they charge forward again. This tower's gone. And if they see Samel now, they don't know if he's still top. So they can be worried that he is going to try and poke again now that they're showing, and they realize the risk reward here is favoring EG. So they're going to send their puck up there, back off, take their little victory with the tier 2, and look to push out that top lane. So next item on the dock, it's actually, wow. KP is so farmed. What? What is happening?
He's not even 25 yet.
He's got an Ags as well. He's level 23, man. He's like having a really good game. I didn't realize it was this good. He's level 23, can buy the full Ags. I thought he might go Travels now just to deal with these waves and connect with his team later for the bottom push. But he has this full Ags is basically setting SCC up for a way better game because now they can't outrun him with BKBs either. So this means you coil this Lone Druid in BKB, and SCC jumps on him, and you have to man-fight. If you try to run out, you get snapped by the coil for a 4.5-second stun, and SCC has more than enough damage to take care of you in that time.
Evil Genius says it looks like they're going on a wild goose chase down. They're running away, mainly because NewBee was able to kill off the Hawk, which scattered out most of NewBee's movement. The Observer and Sentry able to see a lot as well. It's that one Observer which is now left from EG. I don't know if that's, they got two Observer wards outside the base. One's in the mid lane and one's up near Roshan.
The prize is mine.
But this does see most of the NewBee aggressive movement into their territory. And this will allow Sumail and Arteezy just to play dodge game. And Sumail's trying to get his own butterfly up and running. Yeah. Bringing that heavy amount of physical damage.
This is a 10k lead, but it still doesn't feel like the type of game where just like, oh, NewBee definitely got this.
Well, you never know if you're going to get echo slammed. If the Roar's on the right target, if you actually have that good initiation from EG.
I'm mainly concerned about the Dire's ability to take high ground. Like they want this Aegis on the TA to go and hit, but they're actually not confident to do it right now. It's going to expire in 25. So they'll probably wait for the next Roche before they try high grounding. But this is a hard lineup to high ground into. You could get Fissure into Arrowed, you could get Roared, you could get Ice Pathed, you could get technically getting Tangled, but let's disregard that one in this one. But there's plenty of ways for EG to mess with them.
Well, now the Monkey King bar is on the Templar Assassin. This is a rough thing. The Aegis model will expire, which opens up the slot.
He is so fun.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage. 162 plus.
Did he get he got the meld talent or the refraction talent?
He got refraction.
Okay. This used to be a no-brainer where everybody just got refraction, but as of late it's been more popular to get the meld as well. But he favors the instances in this game.
Was that 290 as well, like when he hit the refraction? So plus 290, yeah. Plus 290 with 162 base.
He's going Diffusal. I thought he might go for a big crit now, but like Daedalus when you hit this hard is just devastating.
Might also be worried about the Eul Scepters or...
Yes, there's Euls, there's...
What else do you purge off?
Do they have Ghost Scepters? I don't think so.
No, Ghost Scepters on both Fear as well as Crit.
Okay, they have two Ghosts.
Yep, Fear and Crit.
Oh, that's good enough. He wants to kill the supports if he can, and then if the coil is on a core, he wants to kill the core that's coil. That's got to be the go-to here, I think. That's what he's thinking. Yay! Go Faith!
I have a forward and a medallion.
Got a medallion.
Let me hang that on my wall. Wait, no, I need to use it in battle.
I feel him. He's doing a great job.
Hey, he's just helping him with Roshan, all right? Like, it took too long last time.
The thing is, this is kind of... Oh, Arrow.
Oh, Kaka.
Ah, Nova's here.
Obviously didn't play enough catch as a kid.
See, in this tournament, pretty much every single Bane we've seen has just been in the dumpster net worth-wise, but there's a really good explanation for it. If you compare it to a lot of other fives, the hero is very bad at killing creeps. Like, you don't want to kill creeps. You want to hide, defend your teammates with Nightmare, or get a good Fiend script to start off the fight. And in addition to that, Faith is buying everything for his team. He's buying Ops, Sentries the whole game. So, like, where's your gold going to come from? He's 1, 9, and 13 dying in, like, every fight. But as weird as it sounds, it's actually good if he dies first, as long as he gets spells out. Because that means that the BKB durations of EG are being used to kill a core with 3k net worth.
Yep.
And then you can just imagine how the fight turns out after that. So he's doing a good job. It's just unforgiving, you know? It looks so bad, but he's doing well.
Again, EG are making this maneuver. They go through their own jungle. This time they do plant the aggressive Observer Ward down.
Yep.
Sumail will push the lane, and they have to be looking for a, well, a bad reaction from NewBee, just to bring one player down to defend the lane only. The bottom tier 2 tower is already sacked.
Arrow. Arrow. They got the tower, though. It's a good play from EG. Aggressive smoke movement where they ward and take the tower after. It's pretty straightforward, textbook play that NewBee were not interested in contesting. So it's showing the right mindset from EG. A lot of teams in this position will just turtle, hide in their base, be scared, or try to slowly regain this top area that EG are now finally moving to, but it's been pretty dangerous until now.
NewBee's grouping up for a fight.
Yeah.
2P Scroll gets moved out into the backpack. Butterfly is in for SCCC. He wants to fight. AC is up. SMY for Mugi. A lot to work with. And now Moonlight Shadow from Evil Geniuses. They'll come outside their base.
This is still a delicate time. If they get the jump on the TA before she gets Linkened, if they get a Roar, they can win the fight.
He doesn't see this coming. The Sandstorm is there, but do you want to jump? Where's your detection? The arrow will fly out. They do get the Roar out.
Beast.
And now, well, attack. Yules not in time. The jump does come in. Arteezy pops the BKB. It's KP. Echo slammed up. The farm Macropyre is there. He'll Yules up quickly. KP quickly into the phase shift as well. He needs more time to get out of this one, and he doesn't have it. The Ice Path locks him in position.
God, that was so good play from EG. So good defensive play by Arteezy. He gets coiled. He immediately goes into the battle cry in the bear form, as Faith is probably gonna die here.
Dodges the Ice Path at least. Moogie's in the neighborhood. Universe jumps forward. The balls are up, and Faith knows he's dead.
So 3 kills, and then they wait just until the coil expires, and then they double force-staffed him away. He was very low, but this hero is still tanky with that bear form running and the war cry, the battle cry, so they couldn't take him down with SCC only.
They actually claimed the fresh gem too. So NewBee, they only just bought that, so they lose multiple heroes, and they lost the Gem of True Sight. And EG's coming up. They may need to even use some buybacks. The multi-arrows looking for a target. There's your first buyback coming in from KP, and it's just not his day at all. Loses the gem, now has to expend more money, but he's the delivery system for the Lifestealer. Into the dream castle. Mail! Oh, you thought you were in this game, but you thought wrong. Maybe Arteezy has the damage, attacking in towards Moogie. Now he'll finally die. SCCC ripping Fear apart in the back lines, and the chase will continue. Universe and Crit on the way. You don't have that blink Yule Scepter up just yet, but you know KP wants more, so he keeps the chase going. Orban rips through the creep wave. He's not going to jaunt to it, however. They're looking towards Roshan. What a time for EG to push. They fail to push high ground, and now Roshan for NewBee.
You can't blame EG for going for that though. They were like 5 on 2 or 5 on 3 with Beastmaster Aura, Siege Creeps, Jakiro, Liquid Fire. They definitely want to hit that tower. They were just not expecting that amount of burst from NewBee, or maybe even that they would go on them. They just see this brief moment of opportunity. They just blink in, insta-kill the Mirana. And this is something that I think KP in particular is extremely good at on Puck, is assessing in a situation whether he has enough damage with his teammates or not to go for plays like that. That is world class. And EG could have probably, I mean, obviously they could have not died there. If they weren't there, they wouldn't have died. But I think they could have caught their losses better if they just had better positioning. But they stacked up way too much, got caught multiple heroes by the Puck Lifestealer combo, and they get to pay big time. And
We'll
it was
see their
only
real
one
losses
buyback.
now. Like, okay, EG, how much do you buy back to defend your tier 3 tower in mid-racks? Mookie comes forward, he's holding on to the cheese. SCCC, just the two of them can do that damage. Yeah, even through backdoor regeneration, they're able to bring it down. The creep wave is coming in. KP, Faith, and Karka just a little bit too far out. The Macropyre, at least trying to get rid of the creep wave, but the damage is done. So no buybacks from Evil Jesus. They'll accept the fact the melee Rax dies, but is NewBee done yet? They actually infest into KP.
I was thinking this could be the end of the game. This is a classic position for the winning team to pull back and pretend that they're backing off and then hide in the jungle and get a jump outside of the Radiant base. If they catch them here, they can get 3 lanes of Rax.
You gotta watch that vision from the Hawk.
But EG still have good wards in the area and they have Hawks, so they would have had an idea of it. They would not get caught even if NewBee tried. NewBee gonna play the more safe approach here. They're going to take the Shrine, push out bottom with TA Illusion.
They're actually waiting for like the second.
Oh, they are actually going to do it. They are going to do it.
Smoke forward. Here, hello, goodbye. That didn't take long. 81 seconds. Now, without your Jakiro, he's quite big as well for your D push. Without that Macropyre, it's difficult.
Oh, they got a scan on him.
And if they can catch him, Sumail moves up to grab the bounty rune. And now, split arrows, able to connect the damage into Karka. You'll set for his
Travels level 2, he's done!
He'll take the stun from the Dream Call. He leaped into it, and Sumail is gone as well. Buyback is available for him, and the buyback they were trying to save previously may have to be burnt.
That was a super good play by the Sand King. Getting the scan on Sumail, realizing he's alone, that he can chase. Even if he gets arrowed, doesn't die. Boots of Travel level 2 from TA comes in, he uses himself, and they get the kill. And super clutch coil as well. Like Sumail was BKB leaping out to TP and got coiled mid-air.
Well, there's your
so
buyback.
He took the snap. This is world-class play.
Boogie's going to keep going. There goes your first roll. The arrow, it's going to miss, but the damage on range from Arteezy is still quite decent. Moogie dropping down to 1/6 of his life. But the mid lane is pushing in. They'll have to start dealing with all of this pressure. And, well, they'll be able to do so. NewBee are backing up for the moment. They've still got, I believe, that top shrine to kill. And then they can look towards... I don't know if they want to look towards the next Roshan timing. They've still got another 2 minutes left on this one.
This puck's so fat, Toby. I don't know what to say. He is so rich.
He is slender.
Has fallen.
And it's not only, I'm saying that with a 33k TA in the game, but I feel like that's a bit more obvious that he's rich.
It's the puck who's already rich, and then 420.
Faith is closing in on Solar Crest.
Your jump again. KP
Oh, the KP took the bouncer in front of him. Come on, bro. Give it to your support. Your support he's not even level 20 on the Bane. It's actually a really good level 20 talent, by the way, that Bane has. He should have definitely got that bounty. And 175 cast range is extremely good. It changes your game. It sounds good. It's amazing. It really allows you to cast Fiend's Grip in so many better positions from the tree line. Well, I guess KP needed that extra gold.
Yeah.
Good job, KP.
Well done.
You need your 7th slot, minute 50 on your puck.
Okay, chill. Relax.
Ah, poor Faith, man.
You just have this affinity for Banes who struggle.
No. Just show Faith some love, man. He set you up a lot in this game. Then you take his rune.
He's got his cast range now. He got the other bounty.
He got the other bounty. See, that's the thing. Moogie is a good boy. Moogie lets him take the bounty rune. That's a good boy.
Good. I'm so sorry.
I mean, Lifestealer kind of is like an undead dog if you think about it, so. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, look at it.
That's a dog that needs a dentist.
Dog, nevertheless.
Yeah. That's maltreatment. Anyway, NewBee, gotta look to go up high ground. Again, you said like this is the hard point for them. They're gonna know exactly how they can break it. And EG, they keep falling behind in golden experience. 25,000 now the advantage for NewBee, and forever increasing because Evil Geniuses are waiting for this fight. They're waiting for NewBee to come to them.
This is the kind of point, so you know I was praising EG earlier for while being pressured, they were making an aggressive move bottom, getting a ward out and taking the tier 2 tower. They did it under the circumstances that allowed them to. Right now, I think it just doesn't exist. They actually cannot really make that move. So they waited for the Aegis to expire, they had that timer on lock, and they are immediately moving out now under the cover of Moonlight Shadow. But
yeah,
are going to show on the ward. They're going to lose this Moonlight Shadow to D-ward, at least get some sort of control back in their own jungle bottom area. And meanwhile, NewBee are all grouped up in the top side. So NewBee will take this high ground position instead, where they also have a ward. This is a very powerful position to be in the game when you have 2 different high ground wards in 2 different lanes, because even if you get contested on one of them, you can retreat to the other and have another favorable position.
As long as they can keep it there. Like
Exactly.
The downside for NewBee is they still lost that gem a couple of fights ago, and they haven't managed to regather it. EG is still holding on to both of them at the moment.
Believe me, if NewBee want to keep this area top, they will. There is nobody coming up that cliff. I guarantee it.
Well, EG will try and go the other way. Hawk's giving him a little bit of extra information in the mid.
Surprised.
And as towards Karka, that Observer Ward sitting in the mid. Oh, they lost it. The Hawk timed out. The arrows won't connect. They'll still get the Roaring Ice Path for KP. The double Dream Call. Sumail took the stun again. He leaped out of the Dream Call. BKB doesn't protect him. He's gone for 2 minutes. Arteezy will fall as well. Vivex will have to be expended. But NewBee, they're happy to do it for them because this looks like a potential GG moment. If they can keep this pressure up with no Sumail, it is a hard ask for EG to defend against NewBee.
Did you notice, by the way, Faith with that plus 175 cast range? He got a melee Fiend Script because of that.
Give it up, Sim. Give it up.
That was really good from him, though. He got a full Fiend Script in that fight onto the Mirana that just leaped out of the coil, so Sumail didn't get to play 0 that fight. He got coiled into BKB leap, into 4-second stun, into 5-second grip. 0 impact in that fight from the Mirana. Couldn't do anything.
Well,
and this is still a somewhat tricky push, but
they have 1 buyback and it's on Beastmaster. Everything else is either on cooldown or short of money. Echo Slam has to be huge from Crypt. That's the only way this really works. Moogie gonna burn his rage a little bit earlier.
Good defensive spell usage here, and the glyph.
They had the Macropyre available, but at this point, if they're going to defend it properly, they kind of need that for the fight.
They need to break the refraction charges of SC and then Fissure. I think that's their only play.
Oh, and they jump right on top of Arteezy. The BKB underneath the tier 4 towers. Roar from Universe creates a little bit of space. And where is that damage? Arteezy running around. The damage from range, it will be enough. Arteezy's gone for 2 minutes. Fear will join him. And NewBee pitch a flag right now. Evil Jesus base, it belongs to China. There is really no way EG can move anywhere. They have to wait to be megged up by NewBee and then consider a level of defense. Mirana in 12 seconds, that's what they're waiting for.
This is Megas, and another minute and a half on Lone Druid, and a minute on Jakiro.
Yeah.
I don't think NewBee are going anywhere. Can stay in here as long as they want, and start hitting buildings.
Moonlight Shadow, the arrow needs to connect. Echo Slam from Crit. Minimal effectiveness. The Vicious Stun is nice, however, but now the Burrow Strike. Double from Karka through Universe and Samel. His BKB can come up now. Faith is looking for him with a watering mouth. Wants to get that Fiend's Grip off. Universe gets melted out. The arrows will fly forward, but it doesn't matter. They are just protected so much. There's your buyback in from the Beastmaster, but the Megas are coming in. NewBee still not at full strength, but they got 5 players up at half-life. Universe jumps in, they look for the Roar onto SCCC. Crit gets the double stun off with his totem, but they're losing too many heroes. Universe is down, Crit is Fiend's Grip up. Samael is the final hope right now for Evil Geniuses, and that hope is dwindling quickly. The tier 4 towers being ripped apart by NewBee. They can focus on the victory they'll have tonight. GG is called, and NewBee will 2-1 out Evil Geniuses to face up against Virtus Pro in the semi-final. Guaranteed points towards the international, and Evil Geniuses, they will come up short of the playoffs.
It's been great to see both of these teams, how much they've improved from day one. It's like they rooted out a lot of their problems and both improved a lot. NewBee today just a bit stronger in this